Everybody thinks they know the story of YouTube's first video, right? It's this simple, kind of charming piece of internet history. But what if I told you that story is just the tip of the iceberg? Okay, let's get into this. We all know Me at the Zoo, that classic 18-second clip of co-founder Jawed Karim, just chilling in front of some elephants. It's literally famous for being the very first video ever uploaded to YouTube. But is that really the whole story? Was this the one and only video he ever uploaded? Well, the answer, as it turns out, is way more interesting than that. So here's the official version, the story you'll find pretty much everywhere. April 23rd, 2005, Jawed Karim uploads his little clip from the San Diego Zoo. And even today, if you go to his channel, it is the only video there. Just one single historic upload. It's a neat, clean story, right? A perfect start for the legend of YouTube. But the thing is, the early internet has a very, very long memory, and it tells a completely different tale. So let's start peeling back the layers on this thing. The first clue that just shatters this one video myth doesn't come from some secret hidden archive. Nope, it comes from Jawed Karim himself, hiding in plain sight on his own personal website. See, back in 2005, 2006, Jawed had a personal site, Jawed.com. And on that site, he kept a public list he called My Videos. This wasn't some hidden page. It was right there for everyone to see. And what it showed was that Jawed wasn't a one-hit wonder on his own platform. He was actually one of its most active early users. And I want you to really get the scale of this. We're not talking about, 2 or 3 other videos he uploaded. At one point, Jawed's website listed over 137 videos he had personally put on YouTube, an entire library of his content that has just completely vanished. So much for just one trip to the zoo, huh? And these weren't just random test files either. They were this fascinating snapshot of early internet culture and his actual life. I mean, he had his own version of the Numa Numa meme, a video called San Diego Gangsta, personal clips of his friends doing taekwondo, a holiday greeting. He even uploaded serious stuff like footage from a recent tsunami. He uploaded one called Crushing My Camera just 4 days after Me at the Zoo. This wasn't a founder just testing his creation. This was a guy using it. So this brings us to the big question, right? If a co-founder of YouTube uploaded more than 100 videos, how could they all just disappear without a trace? Well, the answer isn't some big conspiracy. It's actually a technical one, buried deep in the code of the early website. Seriously, how do you lose 137 videos from one of the most important channels in internet history? They're not just private, they are gone. The links are totally dead, and tools like the Wayback Machine, they can't find them. It's like they exist in some kind of digital ghost town. Okay, I want you to look very closely at this slide. The difference seems tiny, right? Almost meaningless. It's just that little .php bit. But that tiny piece of text, that is the key to this entire mystery. Back in 2005, YouTube links looked like the one on the left. Today, they look like the one on the right. And that one little change, it broke everything. You see, that watch.php wasn't just part of the address, it was a command. It told the server to run a specific PHP script to go find the video and play it. But later, when YouTube updated its whole system, they just dropped that script from the URL. It made the site cleaner, sure, but it had this huge unintended consequence. Every single link to a YouTube video shared across the entire internet in 2005 instantly became a dead end. And this quote right here just nails why we can't just go back and find them. Modern archiving tools, like the amazing Wayback Machine, they're built to understand the modern URL. So when their web crawlers find an old watch.php link, they just don't know what to do with it. The content is probably still sitting on a server somewhere, but the address, the map to find it, it's been lost to time. It's a real digital archaeology problem. And the evidence for this is everywhere if you just know where to look. I mean, check out these examples from back in the day. A blog post sharing the viral SNL skit Lazy Sunday, a forum talking about that famous Ronaldinho Nike ad, the first video to hit 1 million views, a commercial for an anime convention, a user on a car forum sharing some cool video, all of them use that old watch.php format. And today, every single one of them leads absolutely nowhere. But beyond all the technical glitches, there was a very real, very human drama playing out behind the scenes. The founders weren't just building a platform. They were trying to figure out what the heck it was even supposed to be. Okay, check this out. This is an absolutely fascinating piece of evidence. It's an email from Jawed Karim to his co-founder Chad Hurley. And look at the date, July 23rd, 2005. That's just 3 months after Me at the Zoo. YouTube is still this tiny, tiny startup, but they're already running into the exact problem that would define the platform for years. So in the email, Jawed forwards a link to a copyrighted video. Chad asks if they should reject it, and if so, should they just reject all copyrighted content? And Jawed's response is so decisive. He says, I say we reject this one, but not the other ones. This one is totally blatant. I mean, just think about how wild that is. In the summer of 2005, with hardly any users, the founders are already having the exact same debate about content moderation and copyright that the company is still having today. They're making these huge decisions on the fly, case by case, literally inventing the rules for a game that they were still in the middle of creating. But hold on, there's one more twist to this story. A final theory that might just change how you think about Me at the Zoo itself. What if YouTube's very first video wasn't even filmed in 2005? The simple story is that Jaw went to the zoo on April 23rd, 2005, shot a quick clip, and uploaded it. But what if that video is actually much, much older? What if he was just uploading the first video file he had lying around? Now, the key piece of evidence here is so subtle, it's the jacket. The jacket Jawed is wearing in Me at the Zoo, it's not just any old jacket. If you dig through the old photos on his personal website, that same jacket shows up in pictures from as early as the year 2000. This suggests that the footage itself could have been up to 5 years old by the time he uploaded it to his new site. And suddenly, this reframes everything. Maybe Jawed uploaded 137 videos, not just because he was an active user, but because he finally had a solution to a problem he'd had for years. Think about it. Like a lot of us, he'd probably been collecting all these digital video files with no easy way to store them or share them. And then he invented the solution. For its own creator, YouTube wasn't just a new company. It was the place to finally unload his personal archive. So maybe we've been looking at Me at the Zoo all wrong. We think of it as the beginning of YouTube, but it might be more accurate to see it as the end of something else. A relic, a time capsule from a world before YouTube, a personal video file that had been sitting on a hard drive, just waiting years for a place to finally be shared. It really makes you wonder what other hidden histories are out there, just waiting for us to find them.